Many years ago, I was very lost in life. I didn't have a clear direction. I have multiple interests, multiple passions, no clarity, a lot of overthinking and burnout. I was in a deep stress. I was depressed. And then I started to learn, and on the way I found some simple and powerful things that can help us to come back to present time, to reduce the overthinking, to give us some clarity and to remind us what we really want to do and create. And those things are anchors. This message is for introvert creators like you, people that really wants to create a positive impact, to bring a positive message into the world. So stay here, I will share what happened to me before and how I start to use anchors in my life. I will give you also some tips how you can create your own anchors. So stay here. I wrote down some important things I don't want to miss, so I will check them and I share with you. First, why anchors are important. I will mention 3 problems and how anchors can help us, so then you will understand why they are so important. Problem number 1 that most of us are facing, overthinking. We get lost in the imagination, negative thoughts, wasteful thoughts. So when we have anchors, and I will explain later what they are and how we can create. When we have these anchors, that it can be some visual things, can be music, yeah, can be food, yeah, they help us to come back to present time. So this is one of the biggest problems we're facing, overthinking. Then, second one, we have multiple directions, multiple passions. I love to create music, I love to create sculptures, I love to create content, share my life story with you. I love to create training programs. I love to cook and create new healthy recipes for me and my family. So I really love that. But that also bring us or lead us to burn out because we're trying to output so many things. Yeah. So that's why I also get lost on my career many times. But these anchors, these elements or things, they help us to remind you, to bring you back, or even to guide you to something bigger, to give you a clear direction. They are very powerful. And third, we are depressed, anxious. We face a lot of uncertainty, especially now in this time, right? We don't know how to survive, how to make money through our creative power. So after a long period of time, and this is a process, okay? It's not like suddenly you find this and then it will help you and then solve your life. It's a process. For me, it took around 10 years. And I am still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still improving. I'm not perfect at all, I'm not pretending to be that. When we are in this state of depression, anxious, experiencing a lot of uncertainty about the future, then it's very important to have something that reminds us a higher goal or a mission if you already have it. It's really important. We must have that to remind us, to bring us back, to give us inner peace. Because most of the uncertainty and all these worries and fear exist only in our imagination. They are not real. I give you an example of this third problem, uncertainty about the future and get lost about life. In all this process, one day I got inspiration and I see in my mind my logo. Yeah, this is an angel. And I will show you here the first version of the logo. And then I updated and upgraded to another version. And this is the final version. This is a reminder. For me, this is like the superhero's sign or badge or logo. This is a reminder of what I want to do. It's also a reminder of who I am. My name is Angelo. I'm just a messenger. That's the only thing I'm supposed to do. And that's why I'm doing all these videos. That's why I create this channel for you. Because I feel this is the real thing I need to do. Maybe the only thing I need to do. So anchors can be very powerful. And because we are creative artists, we have these artistic skills. We also can create beautiful things for us, for ourselves, to continue and to encourage to move forward in this life. Okay, the next part is types of anchors. There are two types we can do in two groups in a general way: positive anchors and negative anchors. Yes, we need to be very aware and very careful with the negative ones. So, first, the positive anchors will help us to connect with our inner core, with our essence. It will help us to remind who we really are. They are connected to supportive or positive beliefs and experiences we have. So I will give you some examples. I love cinnamon. And for me, cinnamon is a reminder of some old memories when I was at home. My mom used to do a lot of cinnamon tea in the morning because I usually didn't want to eat breakfast so early before school. And then she said, at least drink this cinnamon tea with some sugar. So I have that deep inside my mind, my heart. It's a beautiful experience because I feel the care and the love of my mom. And I also remember my dad loved also cinnamon tea. When I have a cup of cinnamon tea here in front of me, I really imagine when my dad was there drinking cinnamon tea and my mom was giving me mine and before I go to school. So it was some peaceful times, some peaceful memories. So that's why for me it's very important. And I love cinnamon and I use cinnamon and I love cinnamon and I cook. And I love cinnamon and I use cinnamon when I cook too. So this is a positive anchor, something that makes you feel nice, make you feel love, make you feel peace. I give another example, a love song. Do you have a love song that reminds you some state or some period of your life? Yeah, or reminds you some people, specific people, right? Of course. Love songs are very powerful. Sometimes they can bring us back that feeling of being loved. That's very beautiful. So pay attention what kind of music you are listening to. We are going to the negative ones too. These are very powerful positive anchors. And another one that you maybe know, visual boards. You see there clear scenes or things that you want to experience, maybe you haven't experienced yet, or you are experiencing but you want to experience more of that. Those are very positive anchors. They are very useful. They don't work by itself. There are other things to consider, of course, but they are one kind of these positive anchors. The negative ones. The negative anchors are those that disconnect you from the real self. Yeah? They bring you down. They make you feel negative energies, dark energies, limiting emotions, yeah? Make you feel shame, guilt, fear, anger. There are a lot of things that will trigger this, and we need to be very careful with this, very aware, and protect yourself. You need to protect. We as introvert creators, we need to protect our mind, our heart. So these negative anchors disconnect ourselves. They distract ourselves. They keep us busy and entertained. Yeah, but they are actually sucking energy, sucking lifetime. They will never come back. So we need to pay attention to that. They move us from our real state, like I mentioned. Our original state is peace, is love. And from that state, we create amazing, powerful things. You know that. So we need to pay attention to that. Also, these negative anchors, they remind us, or they are connected to painful experiences that bring us sorrow. We don't need that. And if we are strong enough, we can be aware and stop consuming or remembering this kind of anchors. So for example, eating a fast food, hot dogs, burgers, they are so linked. In my case, for example, I remember when I was little, I used to eat a lot of fried chicken. We didn't have KFC or these kind of things in my city. We have a local brand called Pollo Criollo. And I remember that. And I remember those were happy moments to go with my dad. I even remember when we park. I remember how the place looked like with some grass, the colors and everything and the smell. So food can be a very powerful anchor. But in that time, I didn't know that this kind of food is not healthy for us. And now we know it. Now we have more information. We need to take better decisions. I'm not saying don't consume that at all. I'm saying that be aware that these kind of anchors like food, especially fast food, trash food, they're very powerful and they're negative because they destroy your health. they destroy our health. And if we are not in a physical, healthy state, we are in pain, we are suffering, we are stressed, we are anxious, and we go totally to the opposite side. We will start maybe to create things, but from fear, from guilt, from shame, from an uncomfortable state. That will not be a divine inspiration. That will not have a positive outcome either. So another example is a sad song. In Latin America, we love this kind of sad lyrics talking about breakups and a lot of things and death. And because we link that to happy moments like a party or something, then we are constantly consuming this kind of music with negative lyrics. And they are programming our minds and our hearts, and we think that's normal. And that's why many of us are suffering too, because we have been consuming this kind of content for so long. So we need to pay attention. They are negative anchors. They bring you out of your state. They bring you out from your essence, love, and peace. They are disturbing our peace, actually. Yeah, and music is like a time machine. They bring us back in time, right? They kind of remind us also very unhappy moments. I remember one time we received some bad news that my uncle fell from the third floor or something like that in Christmas Day. I remember that, and I remember in that time there was a specific song in the background, a salsa song. And every time I listen to that song, actually that song is very beautiful. The lyrics itself is a kind of a sad story, but I anchor that with that situation of my uncle having that accident. That is a negative anchor. It's useless. If I want to listen to that song and I remember that, it doesn't bring me anything. That doesn't add value. It brings me down, make me waste time, make me feel bad, make me feel sad. I remember my dad was also sad, was crying, everybody was worried. It was Christmas Day. So all these kind of things, we need to pay attention to that. We have the power to manage our thoughts. It's not that easy, I know, but with practice we can make it. So our target as introvert creators, and listen to this please, this is the most important thing, is to create positive anchors to support our life. This is the only thing we can do. And if you get something from here, just get that. And another thing, don't overdo it. Yeah, don't need to have a lot of things there around you. I passed through that, I know. You can experience, you can feel which one is better for you. Now I will share with you how to create and what to consider to create positive anchors. Yeah, so don't overdo it. You need one or two things that help you. And also, it will change over the time. Sometimes I use my sculptors, I put them there to remind me. I have my logo, I put my logo in my wallpaper in my computer. I have some songs that bring me more happiness and make me feel more energetic sometimes. So you will find the best ones for you. Yeah. If you like this kind of content and if you're still here, please give us a like, subscribe, support this channel. There is no other purpose but only to spread these messages to the people that really need it, to more introvert creators, to more MBTI INFJs or human design projectors. Yeah, we will talk more about that, but especially if you have this creative power, you are a little introvert, maybe it's a little hard for you to express that beautiful power that we have, and you want to create a positive impact in your life and in the life of others. That's why this channel was created. So, these things you need to consider to create your own anchors. 5 senses. The anchors will influence one or more of these 5 senses, so you must pay attention, and then that will be very useful for you to create your own anchors. So 5 senses. 1. Sight, visual. Examples: visual board, logo, photo of the loved ones. Yeah. Remember that if it's photo of the loved ones, even some of them they are not with us anymore, be sure that they give you a positive feeling, love, caring, kindness. Yeah, these kind of things. Sound, auditory. Of course, songs, mantras, they are super powerful, especially if you do custom mantras. This is what I did, and I want to share that in another video. How to create your own mantra with your own music. They are extremely powerful, at least for me. It helps me so much. Declarations, when you write down or you learn from other books or other mentors, specific phrases that give you power, like I am peace, I am wealthy, or anything that works for you in that moment. Words, what you are saying to yourself inside and to others, when you say to the world, you are already manifesting, by the way. They are super powerful. Pay attention to what you are saying to yourself. Feeling, kinesthetic, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Feelings. For example, when you touch things, I love clay, do the sculptors, or when I'm doing some cooking or some cakes or some pastry or some things that I use my hands, I love that. Maybe you are carving wood, or when you're playing an instrument. That's one of the reasons I like to play the piano, because I'm using my hands. This is another kind of intelligence. This is not only in the brain or the heart. This is the body. The body is wonderful, a wonderful creation. When you're working with plants, with the earth, with the soil, when you are even touching or petting your pet, when you are connecting with animals in a physical way, those are super powerful anchors. Yeah. When you're touching the water in a lake or in the ocean, when you're touching the grass, when you're touching the stones. Then smell, olfactory. When you are cooking, the spices or essential oils or perfumes, or even the smell of the people you love, the sweat, they are anchors too. They remind you the love, the connection. They are very important. So remember this, yeah? And taste. This is one of my favorite ones, and for me, maybe one of the strongest ones, besides auditory. Gustatory, taste. Again, when you are going to cook for yourself, right? Cooking for yourself is one of the most beautiful anchors you can do, and you can do anytime. When you celebrate with some treats, when you go, for example, you achieve something, or you sell something, or you got a job or something like that, and you celebrate with an ice cream or things like that, without abusing of that. I totally understand. We like it. I don't say it again, don't do it. But be aware that this is a positive anchor. It can be something very small. It can be a glass of water, a cup of tea. It can be anything that brings that feeling and those beautiful flavors. So now, for me, the most powerful anchors, yeah, are your favorite dish. If you can cook it for yourself, it's the best. So learn how to cook your favorite dish and just do it. This is a very powerful anchor. And when you eat it, be mindful, be in present time, peace, no cell phones, no TVs. Just eat and enjoy it. That's a powerful anchor. And more you repeat, more you use that anchor, the more powerful it becomes. Another powerful anchor that I consider is very important too are movies. Why? Because movies, they are using visual, are using sounds that make you feel something, right? They manipulate your emotions. And if you are eating popcorn, they also are influencing the smell and the taste. So they are influencing most of our senses. Movies are very powerful. Again, be aware of what you watch. Yeah? If you want to output positive things, input positive content. If you want to output positive things, beautiful things, input beautiful things, positive content. There is no math on that. It cannot fail. It's not hard to understand that, right? And then one more, mantras. Personalized mantras. Don't follow what other people say. Use what you need. Write down your own things. It's very easy. What you need now? You need more love? Write down a mantra about love. You need more money? Write something about money. You need more health? Write about something health. You want to create something or be more creative? Write a mantra about creativity. Search and find it. Use your own words. Use what it resonates more with your heart. So these are kind of examples of what I consider the most powerful ones. And now, when you want to create, pay attention to this. We will keep it very simple. Good news, we don't need to use a lot of things or materials to create our anchors. We can create anchors with our own body and words. This is how we do in NLP. I will guide you into a simple exercise now. So first, before we create the anchors, we must be in a peaceful state, present, connected with the universe, with life, with God. So we need to maybe take some deep breath, maybe do some yoga or meditation, whatever it brings you into this, what we call coach state. Okay? So for now, just to keep it simple, let's take 2 deep breaths. And just relax, be present, mindful. One more time. Okay, so what we're going to anchor now is our passions. There's another video I share with you with powerful questions, how to find your passions. I will leave here in the description the link. We can use anchors for a specific purpose. In this case, we're going to anchor our passions. So our passions is those things we love to do. They are connected with our divine gifts, yeah, our talents. When we use our passions, we do things that make us feel like the time disappears, raise our energies. This is very important to understand about passions. And to anchor, we're going to just say our passions in no more than 5 words. Okay? So I will give you an example. After many years of inner work and a lot of exploration, I found my passions. And then recently I update into new words. So I will share with you for the first time in my life my new passions. So just pay attention to the process. First, I need to be in a peaceful, powerful, lovely state. We call it coach state. And then from there, you can close your eyes or keep it open, it's okay. My passions are, you just start with that sentence, my passions are, and then you mention the keywords. For example, in my case, create. And I do this gesture with my hands because this is my physical anchor. This is what represents for me. Create. Play. Play. This is a symbol. I'm a pianist. I love music. I also feel this is right for me in this moment. Maybe later I change, but in this moment it works for me. Yeah? And then love. Love from the heart. This is a gesture that comes without thinking. This is something natural. Believe it or not, I have been guiding to many people to do this in corporate trainings and individuals before. And it was so beautiful to see that most of the time when people talk about love or share, or they come these kind of gestures. It's very beautiful. We are unique, of course, our journeys are totally different, but we are part of something bigger. There are patterns, there are some designs that they are common in many of us. Okay, so now one more time, you can do it by yourself. First, take a deep breath, and whenever you are ready, you can say, my passions are, and you mention some key words, some words that represent your passion. Can be love, can be peace, can be share, can be create, can be business, can be money, everything. But be honest, yeah, say it from your heart. Because that's our purpose of this channel, is really to create a beautiful life, but to create from love. Be honest with yourself. I hope this message and this content was useful for you. Thank you so much for being there. You are not alone. You can make it. Find those anchors. Help yourself first. So then from that state, with more peace, with more love, you can create more beautiful things. We need you. We need you now. So let's get ready. And remember, you are beautiful. You are magical. And you are free. My name is Angelo. See you in the next message.